Check. Yeah, what up, players? Welcome to episode 49 of the Player One podcast. I am your host, Tyrone Jr., aka Hollywood Champa. This your first time tuning in? What up, player? If you've been here before and you decided to return, welcome back, player. I appreciate you all. It's been a minute. I apologize. Actually, no, I don't even apologize. I've been on the grind. I've been doing my thing, so I haven't been able to bring to you guys another episode. But since then, I've been at it. This past weekend was a crazy, great week. One of the greatest weekends I've experienced in LA. I'm excited to tell you guys about it. It started last Wednesday and it didn't end till Monday night or Tuesday morning. Quick reminder, if you guys plan on coming to LA and hitting me up and trying to hang out, don't think that last minute stuff works. Don't pop up on me. I had a homie. I'm sorry if you listen to this. I'm not going to call you out, but the homie popped up on me on the Twitter DMs like, yo, I'm out here. I'm trying to pull up to the Drew. Text me, yada, yada. Like, nah. I can't do that last minute stuff. I was already planning on going. You can meet me there. It's just a little thing about planning stuff out. So I want to shout out my brothers and sister. My brothers B-Dot, BJ, and my sister Bernie. They were able to be in town, or they were in town for a wedding. They had a whole week's worth of things to do, but we found a window. We coordinated our schedules. We found a window Wednesday evening, and we were able to come together, hang out, have ourselves a day. And that's why I feel like the weekend started on a Wednesday. I worked the rest of the days, but being able to reconnect with the gang, such a great time. And again, if you're coming out to LA, man, don't hit me on the last minute. I appreciate it when you guys hit me up months in advance. Just a heads up. And as you get closer, tap in. Let me know, hey, 2 weeks. This is my schedule. What's your schedule looking like? Things of that sort. We can figure something out. Because I can't just be hanging out with everybody that visits LA. You know how many people visit LA? Damn. Had to get that off my chest, man. Welcome. This is episode 49 of the Player One podcast, man. So look, we're going to stick to the script. I got 3 segments for y'all. First segment is the roundup. I kind of bring us together, tell you what I've been up to, what I got going on in the future. We got the Would You Rather. So I tell you, or I ask you, would you rather do this? Would you rather do that? And I give you guys my answer. And what I want you guys to do is give me your answer. Respond on social media. This platform is available, or this podcast is available on most platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. You can catch us anywhere. So respond to me through Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Christian Mingle, all that good stuff. And then the last segment is going to be Storytime with Hollywood, and it's where I just kind of wrap everything up. I tell you, I go in depth on something that happened. And this episode, the story time is going to be fire. Trust me. So look, starting Wednesday, hung out with the homies. I'm rounding us up right now. Starting Wednesday, I was linking up with the homies. We did our thing. Since we last spoke, I've still been on my running grind. I'm on the Nike app. There is a bunch of us. I've told you guys before, and I'm going to tell you again. We have these challenges for the month. For the month of July, we set up a 30-mile challenge and a 55-mile challenge. They're not crazy. 30 miles, there's 31 days in July. You do the math. That's a little under a mile a day. If you have a pet, take their ass for a walk. Take them for a mile walk every day, and you're going to hit 30 miles. If you want to run a little bit, you can do 2 miles. 2 miles a day. You will crush these challenges. They're fun. It brings a lot of people together. We like to tag each other on social media. Yo, I got my miles in. Where you at? The cool thing about this Nike app, I'm putting Nike on right now. I'm gonna start taping up the logos and calling it just a running app. But the cool thing about this app is you can cheer your comrades on. So you can get on there. If I go for a run, you'll get a notification. Hey, Hollywood is on his run. Cheer him on. and you could leave a voice note to cheer them on, or you could just pick the emojis or whatever. And while I'm out there running, I'm gonna get the hooray, or I want to shout out my boy Simo. He was like, "Yerp." That was all his cheer was. He just recorded "Yerp," and I'm running, and I get my notification. I carry my phone when I run, and I get my notification. I slow down, I push it. It's like, "Simo cheered you on," and it's like, "Yerp." I'm like, "Oh, that shit was cool." So then I just start running again, and then as I'm running, I get claps from so and so, another cheer from so and so, and this running app, it's kind of motivating because we also have the leaderboard. Look, it's not really a race. It's just this challenge that you're trying to complete. So you got the 30 miles. You're just trying to get to that 30. You can see where everyone else, if you want to compete with them, you can. Oh, shoot, so-and-so he jumped 4 miles today, or she jumped 5 miles today. Damn, I gotta up mine. So the other day, I was talking with the homie, and he was like, "Yo, I'm going for 6 miles tomorrow." So I was like, "Damn, I ain't ran in 3 or 4 days. I'm gonna go for 6 miles too." So I did 6 miles yesterday, and I got to jump 2 people on the leaderboard, and I didn't run today. And I bet you if I go check, them fools probably pass me again. So yeah, with that, we also have some stuff coming up, fundraiser coming up. The details, we are almost done like setting everything up, so I will tell you guys about it. And really, it's just gonna be a matter of you joining the app and running with us as we raise money, and it's gonna be cool. We got a whole thing. I'll tell you about that later. I don't want to keep you guys long. I do want to be able to jump into story time and kind of give you everything I got. So we're gonna move on. That's the roundup. Look, we got the run club. If you're down, hit me up. I'll send you the link. We can get this whole thing going. Just a random shout out to homie Kellen. He does some of the art for me. Shout out to BJ as well. BJ and Kellen, these are my guys when it comes to the artwork. I go to them. But Kellen, he's not running. He's not a runner, but he has a dog. He was like, "I'm going to join the 30 mile, and I'm going to walk my dog so I can complete the challenge." As simple as that. So if you want to join the challenge, just hit me up. I got you. I'll send you the link, all that, you know. All right, so that's it for the roundup. We're going to move on to the Would You Rather. Now, this Would You Rather segment is based on the topic of this episode. So, real quick, I went to the Drew League. I saw LeBron James. And then a couple days later, I went to the Home Run Derby. And I got to see all those base players hit home runs. So, for this Would You Rather, I was thinking about it. When it comes to All-Star Weekend, for both MLB and the NBA, or any All-Star Weekend, you know, players kind of like, they don't give their all. It's kind of their vacation, but they're still there to perform. But they're not going all out because you don't want to risk injury and such. So my favorite thing about the All-Star Weekends are typically like the mini games. They'll have multiple days. And for MLB, they do the Home Run Derby on a separate day than the All-Star game. And then for the NBA, they do the three-point contest and the dunk contest and the skills challenge on a separate day than the actual All-Star game. So I was thinking, as a fan, since I've recently experienced the Home Run Derby, I've never experienced the NBA weekend, All-Star weekend, none of that, but I kind of know how I feel about it. But this Would You Rather is based on that. So would you rather go to the MLB Home Run Derby, or would you rather go to the NBA three-point and dunk contest? I will say, as I break it down a little bit in the story time, but I had a lot of fun at the Home Run Derby. You just see folks home run, home run, home run. And my thing, I learned about it last second, but they opened up the park hours early, so you could see all these people doing their batting practices and such. I was not aware until game day, and so I wasn't able to make it. I got there an hour early before the actual start of the Home Run Derby, but it was hours early that I missed. I think they were open like 3 hours early, so I missed the 2 hours of the batting practices. So you get to see these guys out there just mingling. Some were probably mingling with the fans, all that good stuff. But when it comes to the Home Run Derby, that was a great vibe. And then when it comes to the NBA three-point and dunk contest, I'm not a big fan of the dunk contest nowadays because I feel we've seen almost every dunk possible. Even though these folks are doing newer things every year, it's getting crazier and crazier. But I'm kind of just not impressed. Like, it doesn't blow my mind like when I was younger. I've seen a lot. I do love the 3-point contest, but I think those run too fast. Like, the whole event for that is too quick. It's not enough. I would love to see it if they gave the players more rounds, but the way they do it now, the eliminations are too quick. It's a quick contest. So when it comes to these, would I rather go to a home run derby or to the NBA All-Star weekend, like the 3-point dunk contest and the skills challenge? It's all mixed into one day. I would rather go to the home run derby. To see these folks hit this baseball out the park, they were going crazy. Juan Soto, that man just won. He was going crazy. And then the other homie, 21-year-old from... See, I'm not a big baseball fan. This is my first official year as a baseball fan. I got my Angels jersey, O'Shea Ohtani. See how I'm still getting the names wrong and stuff. But I'm an Angels fan. I got to see Ohtani. He wasn't participating, but he was out there. I've been to a few baseball games now, but I'm just into the whole home run derby over the NBA because it was more of a hangout. I was able to connect with somebody I've connected with on Twitter. They were at the event, met their friends. Now I have a little group chat. So when they go to Dodger games, one of them's a season ticket holder for the Chargers. I might be plugged in for real now. Got all that. It was cool. I was able to do that. I had some old coworkers from when I was working with the Clippers. I still do. But last season, they worked with different groups and such. They were working for the Dodgers. I was able to go see them. I ran into somebody that I played basketball with at a local rec. He's not really local. It's like a 30-minute, 40-minute drive from where I live. But I used to go to this rec center. Ended up running into somebody from there. Like, it was the home run derby, like, before the actual home run event started, the vibes are crazy. You could just walk around Dodger Stadium. There's places and hangouts and all that. So after experiencing that, I am a bit biased, but I'm curious to hear what you guys would choose between the two. Would I rather? I'd go with the home run derby. All right, so I got about 7 minutes left to tell you guys quickly about my day at the Drew League, how I finessed to get inside the Drew League. All right, so the plan was to go to the Drew League on Sunday. I hit up a few friends, at least 4, and everyone was like, either yeah, I can or I can't. 2 of them were like, I can't. The other 2 were like, yeah, I'm down. Instead of going Sunday, the plans had changed because one wanted to do something on Sunday instead. So he was like, yo, let's do Saturday. I was like, I don't know. But then I was like, all right, we did say we'd go together. So Saturday works. I told him, if we're going to do Saturday, I looked at the schedule. I follow the Drew League quite a bit. What the Drew League is, real quick, it's a Pro-Am basketball league. So pretty much there's only a few Pro-Ams in the country. These Pro-Ams are like in New York, D.C., Seattle, and then L.A. L.A. is worldwide, is known big time. It's a big deal. Kobe Bryant's played in it. LeBron James played in it. I think Jordan played in it, maybe. But either way, during the summertime, during the offseason for the NBA, a lot of the NBA players tend to come back and hop in this Drew League. They want top-notch competition. A lot of these players played in top colleges, or they're going to top colleges, or they play overseas. So they come back to get some good runs. And pretty much the goal, I've been there a few times. I've seen James Harden play like 4 times in the Drew League. He's faithful. Well, he was faithful. Not anymore. But I've seen all kinds of players. Montrezl Harrell, DeMar DeRozan, Lou Williams. The list goes on. PJ Tucker. It's a long list of players that I've seen. But pretty much the plan went from trying to go Sunday to now we're going to push for Saturday. I told the homies, look, we're going to go after looking at the schedule. Our best bet is to get there for the early games. The first 3 games have great potential. Third game having DeMar DeRozan's team, who's undefeated, and they're playing the other undefeated, both 5-0 in the league, and they're going to play each other. So I was like, look, let's go. Let's catch 3 games. We'll get our time's worth. Also, side note, Drew League is free to get in. So I said, look, we got to go. Let's get there. I was kind of pushing for the second game. Let's watch the second and third. But the first game was solid. They had two of my favorite players, Montrezl Harrell and Frank Nitti, and they were playing. So I was like, yo, maybe catch the end of that, whatever. It's 11 p.m. Friday night, and a tweet comes out from one of the NBA reporters saying LeBron James is expected to play in the Drew. I seen that tweet. I'm playing Call of Duty at home. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to ruin everything. I already planned on going. And then 12 hours from the actual event, they want to say LeBron James is going to go. So now I'm like, well, this is going to make things tough. So I send the homies a text, hey, LeBron's going. This changes things. We're going to have to get there either super early or we just not going to go. And I was leaning towards not going. But I didn't want to stand the homie up. Because the guy who hit me up who wanted to do this, I did tell him 2 weeks ago, yo, let's go to the Drew League. Not this next weekend, but the weekend after that. It turns out to be this weekend. So Sunday was the aim. He said he wanted Saturday. I was like, I don't really want to. All right, I'll do Saturday. Saturday comes. We're talking the night before. We got to do this. The next morning comes. I'm up. I get up. I'm an early riser. I get my day going. I already know. I'm trying to get there by a certain time. I hit the homie up. No response. I don't know. I think he might have went out the night before. But either way, where I'm getting to, I ended up having to go by myself. Because the one homie, there were two homies who said they'd go. One homie overslept. Second homie, he had stuff to do. If I would have waited for either of the two, I wouldn't have been able to experience LeBron James at the Drew League. But I said, nah, I've done this before. When I first moved to LA, I went to the Drew League by myself. And I got to see James Harden, DeMar, Nick Young. It was so many people I got to see on my own. So I was like, I could do this again. So I went up there. I pull up to the gym. I'm looking. That line is already wrapped around. And I'm there pretty early. Like the Drew doesn't start till 10 a.m. I got there at 8:50. Line is already wrapped around the arena. It's a high school gym. It's not even an arena. Line is wrapped around. And I get there, I'm like, dang, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm talking to my homegirl, Sarah. She's like, yo, you should just hop in line. Just get in line. And I was like, you know what? I already drove this distance. It took me 40 minutes, 45 minutes to get down to the Compton area and get to the school. So I was like, all right, it's worth a try. I'll stand in line, see if I make it to the gym. I park, I get in line. You just hear all the hype beats. I was mad about that too. I'm in line and there's somebody in front of me who was like, there's like 4 people in front of me. Did you hear about this last night too? I was so hot because I already had plans of going. I was going to be there, but all these new people who ain't had nothing to do was able to just pop up and get there early and beat me in line. So I was upset about that. But I was in line. I waited. The line starts moving. The first game's at 10 a.m., so they start letting us in, I think, like 9:40. Moving. We'll move a chunk, then stop. Move a chunk, then stop. I'm more than halfway down. There's some people who are trying to cut lines and meet their friends. Some people up there not fans about that. I was chilling. I was like, yo, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and fight it. We move forward. I'm about 10 spots away from the door. They close the door and they say, we're at capacity. I said, huh? I took the picture. I posted it on Instagram. I was like, not this happening. Not them saying we're at capacity. And they was like, nah, we had capacity. Hold on, I'm going to pause this because I have a timer for this music to come back in and I don't want it to come back in. This is a risk that I'm taking. Let's see. I'm going to mute. Can I mute that? Oh, we're good. All right, bet. On the fly. All right, so look. I'm only going to hold you up for like 2-3 more minutes, but I didn't want the music to start playing. I set it at 20 minutes. We'll be here like 22 minutes maybe. I got y'all. So I take the picture. I post it on Instagram. I don't have no signal. But I did start getting notifications here and there. Like, it took me forever to post it. It finally posted because I kind of like to post my days and like how I'm living life. I've been told people enjoy following my story. So it leads to me posting more for y'all. And I posted the line before I got there. Then I posted in line. And then I posted when I got stopped at the door. I got a few notifications of laughing emojis. I was very upset about that. I had people laughing at my pain. Because they wanted to be there, but they couldn't be. I know they was so hyped that I didn't get to go. But it's all good. I was like, all right, whatever, cool. I'm standing in line. I'm trying to be patient. I'm chilling. And again, the homegirl, Sarah, she was like, nah, you should just stay like 15 more minutes. I was like, nah, I'm going to do like 5. 5 minutes passed. I said, okay, I'm going to do 15. And I'm in there, and it's like 10 minutes, and then a guy opens the side door. What was killing me was how all these people, VIP status, I guess they knew someone who knew someone, and they were just walking up past the line, knocking on the door, and being like, yo, and getting let in. And it was groups of 3, groups of 3, groups of 4. And I'm like, yo, we ain't gonna have no fucking space left. You keep letting all these VIP people. How many people are on this VIP list? That was bugging me. So I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm getting frustrated now. Like, I'm at this point. I'm too close to quit. I'm too close. So I'm chilling. One of the employees opens the door. Again, remember, Drew League is free. He opens the door on the side and is like, hey, we have 10 spots left, but we can only take the first 10 people who donate $100 to the Drew League Foundation. Go to the website, so-and-so.so-and-so, and you scroll down to the bottom. He gave us the instructions, and as he's doing that, I said, oh, okay. Thankfully, my signal, for some reason, my phone wants to work when it's time to pay some money, but it don't want to work when I want to post on the social. So I'm going to have to talk to AT&T about that. How come you won't let me post, and you allow people to laugh at me, but I couldn't respond because I had no signal? But then when it comes time to go and fill out a form and pay some money, I had the best signal there. They said first 10. Start a line over here. So I'm like, well, shit, I got my phone out. I'm already typing. Get over to the other line. Now people are starting to, oh, it's getting a little physical because the dude was like, straighten up. And we're all kind of like side by side at the front. I'm like 4th, 5th maybe. But then people was like, oh, my mama, y'all wasn't in front of me. And I'm like, this is crazy. This guy's saying this because he came from the back of the line. And I was about to say, on your mama, what's good? It's like, I wasn't going to say that. But if I needed to, I could have took him. He was a tall, skinny, lanky dude. I would have put him to sleep. I would have been like, it's bedtime for him. Y'all got somewhere you can nap? He was going to take a nap. But he was like, oh, my mama, y'all not about to cut me. So he tried to, like, make his way. But while he was doing all that fussing and yelling, I was doing my shit on the phone. He be causing a scene. Everybody looking. I was like, okay, this is my time. So I kind of slide to the right and slip up. And my phone's going through the process. And, hey, when I tell you I finessed. So, look, I'm going to tell y'all a little hint. Because I've done it on accident before, and I've done it on purpose this time. But when you have to pay something through PayPal, they wanted a donation through PayPal. PayPal likes to confirm with you more than once. Are you sure? Okay, do this, do that. I'm going to ask you one more again. Are you sure? So the dude at the door was like, I need the receipts. Show me on your phone that you sent the money. And so I confirmed it the first time. It said, are you sure? I said, yeah, confirm. And as I look, I got it, $100. And he was like, come on in. So excuse me, on your mama, right? Excuse me. And then I get inside, and then there's another lady at the table. It's like, excuse me. I didn't know. It was so unorganized. That's why I did what I did. I'm going to continue. It was so unorganized. I was like, y'all not about to just tax us like this. I would have paid. Look, trust me, I would have dropped 100. Maybe 150. Because, like, being in a high school gym to watch these players for free is kind of insane. If you pay $100 to $150 for a Lakers game, you're going to be up. You ain't even going to be, like, close enough. I'm telling you, I'm in the bleachers. I'm like 12th row. I'm running past the time. I said 22 minutes. Look, man, this story is going to keep going. I'm sorry. We're going to be here, y'all. If you were rocking with me, I appreciate you, man. Shout out to y'all. But $100, this thing, I would have paid $100 for this. Especially LeBron James. Man, for this, I didn't take this off. I just wear the Lakers jersey. If you're listening to the audio, I'm wearing the Angels jersey over top of my Lakers jersey because I had such a great weekend at both events. I didn't wear my Lakers jersey. I just wore a regular shirt to the. I wore a tie dye shirt, but let me get back to this story. So the second lady, she's at the table. I need to see her seat. As I walk in, she ain't saying nothing to me. She let me just kind of walk on in because there's people off to the side. I didn't know what they was doing, so I was like, well, shit. He said I'm good, so I walked in. He's like, excuse me. She kind of yelled at me. I said, God damn. And I knew I was finessing, so I thought maybe this is where I get caught up. Excuse me. He said, huh, me? She was like, yeah, let me see your receipt. And I was like, right here. I started shaking. I showed her the phone. I was shaking. And so she write your name and how much you donated. And I said, you don't know how much we were supposed to donate? Did he not tell you? He just threw that number out there? I said, bet. I'll write my name and I'll write how much I donated. And I wrote. And then as I walked past, I didn't even have the signal. If I wanted to continue and confirm it one more again, as I'm inside the school now, I couldn't even do it. So I was like, well, look. If it goes through, it'll go through. I'll deal with it later. $100 for this, whatever. But there's a chance that I didn't have to pay that $100. Long story short, for that whole thing, show me my money. Like, I got mine. I got in there. It didn't go through. Maybe they should get some gym Wi-Fi or something. I would have done it. I was willing to, kind of. But then when I started seeing how sloppy this was, I was like, no. So I'm in here now. And they said they had 10 seats left. What do you mean 10 seats? I walk inside the gym. There ain't no seats. I got to find a spot, a hole in the crowd. And while you're trying to stand at the door, the entrance to the gym, they got security. Come on, you can't stand there. You can't stand there. I'm like, where I'm going to stand? I got to find a seat. I'm looking for a seat. So I was like, all right, this side ain't going to happen. So I went to the other side. I found me a spot in the top row. It's not the very top row. It was like right under where they were setting up cameras and stuff, media. But the last row, I'd say like the 12th row, in the middle of the bleachers. I was like, I'm going to go up there and try. I get up there. There's this little couple. They're on the edge. But there's space in between and around beside them where if they were to scoot, it's like parking spots. If they were to scoot themselves a little bit together, a whole spot is going to be right there. So I was like, hey, is it cool if I sit here? The chick, they're both wearing a mask because COVID is going crazy right now. But either way, why you coming to something like this trying to hide behind the... Man, so dumb. But I'm only saying I'm on this angry side, negative side about it is because I asked the lady, because she was the closest to me, could you guys like scoot? Can I sit next to y'all? She looked at him, man. She looked back. She said no. She didn't even say it. She just shook her head no. I said, no, I can't sit there? She was like, no. And I asked him, is it her call or your call? And he was like, no. And I said, okay, bet. I get it. So I looked past them. There's more space down. I was like, I'm going to try this again. But I'm already a little hot from that. That's got me hot. So as I go to walk past him, I walk behind him. I kind of, I bumped into him. I'm sorry. I'm big, nutty professor. Like, boom, hit one. Oh, shit, my bad. Boom, hit the neck. Oh, my bad. And then I go down. I find me a spot. Well, the dude was like, oh, yeah, my friend's sitting here. He's going to get food. And I was like, well, your friend can't be this big. We going to squeeze in. So I sat there, and then the friend came back, and we was good. And so now I'm inside, and I get to watch basketball for free. But it was some speed bumps along the road. So from here, I just want to like kind of, that's pretty much, I just want to tell y'all about the finesse, because I had the finesse, and I did. And the message behind this whole thing, more so, is don't wait on nobody to go do something. There's something you want to do. Don't wait. Go do that yourself. I talked to the homie Phil. Phil was one of the guys I asked at the beginning. I told you at the beginning I asked if he was going to be available. He wasn't. But he was cheering me on like, yo, please go, yada, yada. And then I talked to him. He was like, yo, I can't wait to hear about it. I know you're putting it on the podcast. But I had a friend who went by themselves, and they were saying how this was their first time going by themselves and how they loved it and they're not going to wait on nobody. I was like, dog, that's me too. Like, I went by myself. If I would have waited, I wouldn't have been able to go. And now I had the time of my life. I got to see Lebron. I got to see all this. It was a crazy experience. It's all over social medias. I've reposted on Instagram and such. But I did want to just say, like, yo, waiting on people is not the move. Go, if there's something you want to do, just go do it. But as I'm in there, and the first game's going on is Montrezl Harrell, Frank Nitti. My boy Frank Nitti going crazy. He always talking trash to somebody. telling somebody they can't guard him. Like, and he plays great defense. He does it all. Frank Ntilikina is one of my favorite players. I wish he was in the NBA, man. I think he could play with some teams. But that boy be balling. He a Drew League legend. Montrezl Harrell was in there hooping too. He just be dunking on everybody. And they won their game. The next game was a Triple B team. If y'all know LeVar Ball, LaMelo Ball, LiAngelo, and Lonzo. Well, this week, none of their main players showed up. It was just LeVar Ball as the coach. And that team got waxed. It was to where I was going to go and be like, yo, can I run with y'all? Can I suit up? Their game finished. Then the next game, as that's happening, DeMar DeRozan enters through a side entrance. When he comes in, the camera's going, everybody, forget this game. DeMar's here, DeMar's here. The rumor was LeBron was going to play with DeMar. And so DeMar walks in the gym. We're like, okay, LeBron's got to come in at some point if he's going to be here. He never showed up. He never, walked through the gym. It probably wouldn't have happened. But pretty much when it was game time, this game ended, and it's time for the next team to come on, DeMar's team. You see them coming out the back entry where all the players come from. And then I'm looking. I have a good angle. I could see. And I have eyes like a hawk. I could see. I'm looking through the tunnel. I'm like, oh, okay, there's DeMar. There's that other player that used to play in the NBA. Was that? And I saw Lebron James. And I said, oh, my God, he's here. He's really here. And then he came out, and when I tell you, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Like, to see him walk out and just hear everybody just go nuts, like, that joint was so tight. All right, and then so he comes out. They go to do warm-ups, but as they're trying to do warm-ups, LeBron daps and hugs. He got people running up to him who work with the Drew. LeBron's being a good man, just like, what's up, what's up, what's up? He ain't turned nobody down. He was very respectful. I love to see who he was as a person. It was awesome. And so warm-ups go. This Drew League, they run these games through the day. They're on a schedule. So there's one thing I just want to combat, and that's how they're like, LeBron James shot this percentage in the Drew League. Like, what is that? There's this guy, Skip Bayless. He just loves LeBron so much. He tweeted about him at 11:30 at night talking about LeBron shot, I think it was 2 for 12 from 3 or something. So what? I don't even think it was that bad. If it was, whatever. But pretty much during I think they get a 15 to 12 minute window to warm up. LeBron didn't even get to touch the ball that much. He did get in the layup lines. He was doing some stuff, but these NBA players typically warm up for an hour at least. So LeBron to come into this gym, it's not a legit game for him. He's coming to get his workout in. So for the people who are like, dang, he only put up this many, he scored 42 points, 16 rebounds. But for people to be like, but he shot a bad percentage, it's like, dog, he wasn't even warmed up. He was doing the warm-up lines, layup lines, but he was doing some dunks in there. He didn't even shoot a 3 in warm-ups. I was watching the warm-ups. He did a few dunks to show us love in the crowd. I got him on film. My phone died in that joint because I didn't have any signal, but I used all my battery recording and taking pictures. I got a selfie with LeBron in the background. It's right there. Yeah, if you guys are looking on the YouTube, I put it on the page, the top left corner. That's LeBron, and then that's me. And then you see the picture of me at the home run derby, and then you see the picture of me and the homies, Dot and BJ, Santa Monica on a Wednesday. Felt like a Saturday. But, LeBron, man, he didn't even shoot a 3 to warm up. When the game was about to start, so many people were around the court, they couldn't start because there was no space to even step out of bounds. So they took time to clear that. That's when LeBron was like, well, shoot, let me get a couple shots. He shot 2 threes. When the game started, his first shot attempt was almost half court. It was logo LeBron. He shot from there. We're like, oh, but he missed. Again, he barely warmed up shooting the ball. He was just trying to get a feel. And so for them to be like, oh, but he shot bad. This man LeBron was out here showing off. He tried to throw himself an alley-oop off the backboard. In the middle of it, they were losing at that point. They were losing for most of the third quarter. Because, and I will say, the only reason it was a close game, LeBron and DeMar DeRozan were cooking them boys, just taking turns going back and forth. But the teammates of LeBron and DeMar, the ones who, there was one other teammate that you could tell LeBron wanted to shoot the ball. It was a point guard. I think number 2, he got some twist. I want to find out who he is. That dude is nice. He's a good player. And LeBron was kind of like, yo, shoot it, shoot it. There's a highlight y'all may have seen where LeBron does a behind the back pass to the dude. I said, oh my God, this dude, please don't miss this. If you miss, you're not going to be able to sleep. A pass like that from LeBron, he made it, cashed out. But there was a one person on the team that should have been allowed to shoot besides LeBron and DeMar. But these other guys were forcing shots. So as they were forcing shots in the third quarter, the other team got hot. And then LeBron and them lost the lead. So they were down most of the third quarter. But besides that, when it got down to it in the fourth quarter, LeBron and DeMar was like, okay, give me the ball. Give me point after point after point. Them boys were just going off. To see them hoop like that, it was more of a workout. They would go to the corners, certain spots they like the ball to get the ball at, and they would just go one-on-one. And if you try to help, they could either shoot if they wanted, but you wouldn't even have time to come help. They had their NBA moves ready. They had their back on the player, and then they face them up, or they back them down, do a fadeaway, and they just score and score. It was just a workout. It was a workout for them, and that's what people need to understand. This Drew League, again, is players who are on their off season. They're not coming here. I mean, they do want to win, yes. That's the ultimate goal. You want to win. But you're not going to dive on the floor for no loose balls when you're not getting paid to play this. Like, you're not making that extra effort to just make whatever play. Not always, but they put in enough effort to where they won the game and they were going in. They scored so many points. It was such a great time. And I got to see it all for free. And I almost paid $100. I would have paid $100, but I didn't have to because it just didn't feel right. And also, I hope they took that money. I hope they don't ban me or something from this. But during the game, there was a leak from the ceiling, I guess from the AC, because it was hot in that joint. It was packed in that gym, so it was hot. There was a leak coming from the vents, and it kept hitting the floor. So, hey, I hope they threw some of that money on the boy that was sweeping the floors. He was working hard. That boy was drenched. And every play, it got to a point where he just had to hang out next to the spot because the water kept dripping, and you don't want to, hurt any players. One player slipped on it, and was like, oh, hell, you're going to have to stay right here. And every time someone moves away, you got to wipe it. It was so much fun, though. Quavo was there, Draymond Green, Khalil Mack, Corey Maggette. Who else? There was somebody else there. Oh, THT was there in the crowd. It was just so much fun to see. I saw this comedian that I watch on Def Comedy. I forgot what it's called, but like Def Comedy Jam or whatever. They have a YouTube page, and one of the guys from there was there. No, two of them actually. They were there. It was dope, and I got to see it for free, and that's history. Everyone always goes back and pulls up clips from Kobe in the Drew League, James Harden in the Drew League, LeBron. I'm in the background for some of them. Most of them I'm not because I'm on the side where the camera was. The high quality cameras were right behind me. So there's like one or two clips it'll pan past me. I'm in a blue tie-dye shirt. It's my San Diego tie-dye, my souvenir I got myself. Because the last time I went to San Diego was so much fun. I loved it. So I was like, I got to give me a shirt. I decided to wear that there. So I stick out in the crowd. If you see some clips or anything, look for me top middle in a blue. And the guy next to me was wearing like a green, yellow, a bright tie-dye shirt himself. So we're easy to spot out. And he was cool. He was fun. Me and him got along. We just started chatting about everything. And yeah, it was a good time, man. And it was a lot of fun. I'm just grateful it happened, man. Like this weekend all together, like got to see the home run derby on Monday. And that came from my job. So real quick, if you don't know, I've been working in sports over 5-6 years. And since I got out of school, I've interned for sports. So I've been working in sports 7 years now, maybe. This is like the first time I really experienced something like this home run derby. One of the companies I work for right now, we are partners with them. They blessed us with some tickets. And typically, I used to work for a big time studio. I'm not going to name their name, but they do the sports talk shows daily. And most of y'all who watch those type of shows probably watch the shows that I was working with. And all those shows, like that studio produces NFL games. And with all that time that I spent there, almost 5 years, I never got any type of I never benefited from it. I always feel if you have your employees working these events and such or working whatever, you should throw them a ticket or something somewhere at some point. But it was always the higher ups who were getting to go to do these things, but not the ones who are on the ground working. So with the company that I work with now, this is the first time they looked out for us. Because, I mean, we do have a pretty important role. It's pretty important, but this was the first time it felt like a company gave back. And I was able to go to this home run derby. For my first official year as a baseball fan, I committed. I really locked in for that whole thing. I'm an Angels fan. We're not good. I learned that the hard way. We started out strong. I was like, dang, since I've been a fan, we've been nice. We started out strong, and then now we almost set a record or tied the record for most losses in a row. This ain't fun. I'm not used to losing like this. But got a win from the baseball season. And just this whole weekend, had the homies pull up Wednesday. It just made the week finish strong. Went to the Drew on Saturday. Had to go solo. I wish the homies could have figured out their ends and made it there. And then Monday I was able to go to the home run derby. And so much fun, man. I'm happy to bring y'all this episode. And if you stuck around this long, I said it was going to be 22 minutes. We at 42 minutes. We ain't going to have no outro music. This was not on schedule as I planned. Shoot, I got to kind of get ready. I got stuff to do today. That's it. Episode 49. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit me up on the social medias, Twitter, Instagram. Y'all got my number probably. Hit me on the platforms. Respond. I need reactions. I need interactions. Comment on the YouTube. That's the biggest one. The YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment. If y'all can do whatever you can. If you only have enough to do one thing for me, go comment something on the YouTube, please. I click play maybe once or twice. I don't know if it works if you could click it more than once to get my views up. I think I heard it can only be once. I broke 100 views one time before. Can we do that again for this one? 42 minutes. That's a lot. I'm breaking grounds right now. I don't usually do it like this. But shit, we here, man. I appreciate y'all. That's going to be it. Episode 49 of the Player One Podcast. Yeah. Love y'all.